Are you worried about a stock market crash? If so, is there a must-have investment for you? Well, according to this stupid article right here, there is in fact a must-have investment if you are afraid of the stock market. And that investment is the S&P 500. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. So let's look into the article and see what they're talking about. Point number one is that if you buy the S&P 500, you get instant diversification. Well, let's look at the constituents of that index. Wow. When we look at the constituents, we see that 29% of the index is comprised of just the top 10 names in there, hardly very diversifying. In fact, we can see a dramatic performance differential between those top 10 stocks and the remaining 490 stocks in that index. This is not diversification. The top 10 stocks are driving the performance of that index. They can drive it up like we've seen here. They can also drive it down like we saw at the end of the internet bubble. The other point they make in the article is that the S&P 500 has an almost guaranteed chance to recover from any kind of bounce back, any kind of dip that it has. Now, this is certainly true. The S&P 500 has never gone to zero. It is unlikely that it ever will, but that's their main argument. Of course, sometimes these bounce backs take a long time. Let's look at way back at the Great Depression. Here we can see that it took over 20 years to get back and make new highs. We also had this period here in the 70s and 80s. Took over 10 years to bounce back to its previous high. And of course, we can't forget the internet bubble and the financial crisis, where it took over 14 years to make new highs. So while it does bounce back, it can take a long time to do so. These charts here, of course, are on the Macro Trends website. Check those out for more charts if you want to. Finally, I just want to say that making this kind of investment advice to me seems inappropriate, given the fact that we don't know what your investment time horizon is. If you have 50 years, I would say yes, by all means, put your money in the stock market. Do you want to have a cap-weighted index that's heavily tilted towards the top 10 names? I don't know, but certainly with long time horizons, putting your money in the stock market makes sense. With very short time horizons, this seems like very bad advice. There's no sense of timing in this article. Anyway, food for thought. Have fun with that. Talk to you soon.